In 1997, I was born in the state of Indiana. When I was 2, my parents moved me to South Korea. When I was 4th grade to 6th grade, I lived in New Zealand. And after that, I went back and forth to New Zealand and South Korea. And when I was 8th grade, I finally returned to the United States of America, and I've been here since.
I come from India. I was born there, I was raised there, and I went to school there, elementary school, to college. I went to Methodist Boys High School, which is an American school, Christian school. After I graduated from the high school, I went to college, took a bachelor's degree in history and economics and political science. In 1968, I came to United States, started going to graduate school, took a master's degree in history and another master's degree in education.
So, I'm Tobias Niebuhr. I am a senior here at Gilman. I was born in Baltimore. I've lived here all my life, but I have dual citizenship with both Germany and the US. And both my parents are German. I was born here, so that gives me US citizenship.
The conflict is, so in Korea, the idea I had about America was that it's a country that do a lot of bad things, but it do it in the name of protecting it do that in the name of being a global police, but with the real intention is for the good of American people. That's what I really believed in. I believe that United States cares about freedom of speech, cares about the privacy of the people, and the oldest great rights we have in the Bill of Rights. When I first heard when the Edward Snowden stuff got big news, and I heard all these NSA, everything comes up, it was a great shock to me, and it was something that I became very skeptical.
High school that I went to was an American school. We had a chaplain who was an American from Nashville, Tennessee. We had the hostel warden was an American. We had about five people, young American bachelors, working with us in various capacities. So I was very used to the American culture, education, basketball, sports, and religion, the whole works. And so all the Hollywood movies, you name the Western, I've seen it. There was nothing new. When I came here, it was the same kind of atmosphere. In a way, there were some things that were kind of strange to me, living among the Americans. But other than that, it had, for me, it was, transition was very smooth, I think. On the bus, there was a pregnant lady, and I got up and gave her my seat, and everybody was looking at me like I committed a crime or something. You know, my Indian upbringing, sometimes my manners were shocking to people here.
uncomfortable?
Yeah, there were places, there were situations. Oh yeah, my accent. Uh, People asked me to repeat what I said there. The way I spoke, they acted like I didn't know English. Uh, uh, my graduate school class, the professor, Dr. McConnell, asked me a question. I stood up from the chair, and then he almost fell back. He said, "Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down, talk to me." And out of respect for teachers and elders, I stood up to answer the question, and he almost had a heart attack when I stood up. The French people talking with their accent and Germans talking with their accent. Sometimes people couldn't say two sentences properly, but when I spoke, people didn't understand. They would say, "What? Say it again. I don't understand what you're saying." I said, "Okay." The uncomfortable, the ones that stick out in my mind was after 9/11, people
Yes.
on the roads, the would yell at me. I was driving home, and I was almost pushed off the road, saying, "Go back to India," kind of yelling and that kind of thing. It was scary sometimes. Those kind of things were shocking, but other than that, I'm a low-key person. I mean, I don't make waves. I don't make trouble for anybody. So I didn't have situations other than people yelling at me on the road, thinking that I did something wrong. I had part in 9/11.
Well, it annoys me when people try to say I have responsibility for it, because I don't have any responsibility, in my opinion, for what happened 70 years ago. I'm not proud of it, and I'm not happy that my ancestors were there and they weren't participants to the best of my knowledge or anything, but I'm not happy that that happened, and I think it's a terrible thing. So what makes me uncomfortable is when people try to blame everybody who was in Germany or in the occupied countries or any such thing for it. But overall, it happened. It's not good that it happened. I'm not happy that it happened, but it happened, and people need to be aware of that so it doesn't happen again.
Oh, that's a good one. First of all, Korea expects a great deal of respect. Korea expects a great deal of respect to teachers from students. You see this, such as physical punishment. In America, let's say a teacher hits a student. Oh my God, she should get jailed and everything. In Korea, they don't care. In Korea, they say, "Oh, it's teacher's love. The student deserved it." And in the Korean education, I think about it, which is basically a copy from Japan's education, and which Japan is from Germany. It's very industrious. In America, there's art classes. We choose our classes. We develop our own character. In Korea, they don't have time for that. In Korea, they need to. The school exists to create an industrial, hard-working worker, and they make students work hard and very repetitious problems. And so I think when it comes to character, so I think at the end, when it comes to worker efficiency, I think Korean education has the upper hand in America. But when it comes to character development, I think America has the upper hand.
I love learning languages. I love saying something. There was a boy from Congo, Africa, from refugee camps. He joined Gilman, didn't speak to anybody, he put his head down and started walking quietly, never talked to anybody. Somebody said he played soccer. So I said, I said, "You're from Congo?" He said, "Yes." You play soccer?" He said, "Yes." He was still looking at the ground and his shoes when he was talking to me. Then I said to him, "What language do they speak in Congo? Do they speak Congolese or something like that?" He said, "No, Swahili." I said, "Swahili, but Swahili is East African language." So I switched to Swahili and started talking to him. And his face, he looked up for the first time and his face lit up and he started smiling.
Okay, wait, did you?
In general, I feel like patriotism without a cause or without a reason is just stupid. But if I had to, I don't know, probably the US. Just, I think there's a lot of things the US can learn from Germany, not only from its past, but its current. I think in many ways the German governmental structure is, or at least some of their laws should be implemented in the US. I also do think Germany could learn from the US political system in the sense of some of the laws they have. But I think it's not really important to me, I don't think. Either way, if it's just if it's just, I support this country over this country without any reasoning, then it's sort of, it's not there's no purpose to it. All it does is cause antagonism.
Christians in India are a very small minority. So especially after the British left in 1947, if you're a minority, the Hindu majority didn't kind of consider you part of India at all. Even now, even today, 2015, some people say Christians go back to America and England, Muslims go back to Pakistan. That kind of attitude is still there. So I never felt as patriotic about India as I do about America. I feel if I have to choose, if somebody held a gun to my head and choose between India and United States, naturally I would choose United States. Besides, I spent majority of my life here in America. I came in 68 when I was hardly 30 years. Now I'm 80, so I've been here 50 years, more than 20 years more than I ever lived in India.
My initial reaction?
Yeah.
Fuck me. With all seriousness, yes, that was actually my reaction. It was hard. I didn't want to serve. I don't want to serve. But then I felt like, hey, if people start telling me, Robert, you should just not go to Korea, you know? They're gonna say you're a criminal. They'll try to put you in jail if you try to enter it. But just screw Korea and just stay in America forever. And you know that really is one of the options I have. Although I hate joining the army, there was this sense of feeling that I have to serve. That I think part of me said, hey, Robert, you cannot spend your entire life away from your family, away from your parents' country. Just sacrifice 2 years and serve. When I was 8th grade, when I first came to America, the first year I came to America, if you asked me that, I would have said yes. But now I honestly feel more patriotism for the United States of America than South Korea. So, no, it's for my family.
See, if I don't fit in, I try to be a good citizen of America as I possibly can. And if people can't accept that, it's their problem. It's not my problem. And this is a country of immigrants. I mean, they should know that. If that's the case, only Native Americans, actually Native Americans were Asians, they crossed over. So being an Asian, I have more claim to this country than anybody else. Because the Asians came on the Bering Straits to America, and one group went all the way on the west side of the mountains, Rocky Mountains, went all the way to South America. The other group settled in the central part of America and became American Indians, Native Americans. So basically, they were Asian. Actually, they came from Asia. But if people don't accept me, I feel that it's their loss. It's not my problem. After all, we are all human beings, and they make a big issue of race and culture and this and that. And basically, we are all one big family.
Food. Like, we need to import food. And I saw the cornfield on the highway, and it was endless. It was just endless amount of cornfield, and I was like, my God, this country is really, really rich with food.
Have you ever gone back for Germany for a long time? Like stayed in Germany for like 1 or 2 years?
No,
something like that?
never for more than a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Just see family, ski, come back.
Okay. Tell me where you come from and how did you end up in America?
Well, I was born in the United States in Indiana when I was but yeah, I was born in Indiana. Shit, let's start again.
So have you ever,
My initial reaction?
Yeah.
Fuck me. With all seriousness, yes, that was actually my reaction.